Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In our previous last two classes, we have been discussed about the types of asexual reproduction like fission, budding, sporulation, fragmentation and regeneration. So today in our class, let us discuss another one type of asexual reproduction, that is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. So let us know what is the meaning of vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation is the formation of new plants from somatic or vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf or bud is called as vegetative propagation. So what is the meaning of vegetative propagation? Means the formation of new plants What is the meaning of vegetative propagation? Means the formation of new plant from somatic or vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf or bud is called as vegetative propagation. So here a new plant, it will be produced from the somatic part or vegetative part. To which parts we are calling as the somatic parts? Means the parts like root in the plant, the root, stem, leaf, bud. So these all parts together we are calling as a somatic part. So but in the plant we are seen that flower is also present, but flower we are not calling it as a vegetative part or somatic part. Why? Means because here so it contains the reproductive organs. Why flower we are calling as a reproductive part? Means because it contains a reproductive organ like andrecium and gynecium. It contains the sperm and it contains the pollen grains and the egg it contains. So that's why we are not consider them as a somatic part. So but in the root, stem, leaf, bud, in all these part we will find the what we are calling it as a somatic part or vegetative part. Next here, so in your exam they may be ask you the question like this here. Vegetative propagation is also called as asexual reproduction. Why? So in your exam they may be asked the question, vegetative propagation is also called as asexual reproduction. Why? Is also called as asexual reproduction. Why? So answer what you have to write here means for this one, answer is because it is uniparental in nature. Answer is because it is uniparental in nature and does not involve formation of sex cells. So vegetative propagation even we are calling it as a asexual reproduction. Why? Means because here it is uniparental type here. So uniparental means single parent it is present. So hence we are calling it as a uniparental. So with the help of a single parent, new offspring, new individual will be produced here, and it does not involve any sex cells. To whom we are calling as a sex cells means sperm and egg we are calling as a sex cells. Here there is no formation of sex cells, a fission of sex cells. Without that, the new plant or new individual it is producing. Hence vegetative propagation is we are calling as a asexual reproduction. Other one character what here means it produces a large number of population in shortest time here. Another one property what it is showing here, it produces large number of population in shortest time. Another one character what here means it produces large number of population in shortest time. So already when we are discussing the characteristics of asexual reproduction, we have been discussed this is also one of the character. So asexual reproduction, so it through the asexual reproduction large number of offsprings will get here, and in a short period and in a quick period we will get the offspring. So in this case also, in this type also what happens is the plants produces the large number of a population it will produces, and that in a shortest period of time they will produce. So they process this one also one of the character. Hence we are consider them as a asexual reproduction. Next another one character what it is showing means it preserves the genetic purity. Another one character what here it preserve genetic purity. It preserves genetic purity, resistance and good quality of variety indefinitely. Next another one character what it is possessing here is it may preserves the genetic purity. Genetic purity to whom we are calling here is it will maintains the same genes which is present in the parent, that same genes it will be comes to the offspring also without any changes. So in the parent body whichever the genes are present, same genes will be enters into the whose body, same genes will also enters into the offspring body. So that's why it is maintaining the genetic purity, it is maintaining, and even it will maintain the resistance. So in the parent body the resistance which is present, same resistance it will be transferred to the offspring, and not only these things, even the good quality of the parent, even it will be shifted to the offspring here. So like that here, so because why it will get shifted means because here uniparental it is present, single parent it is present, so that's why there is no chance of any changes. So whichever the characters are present, so same characters will be enters into the offspring body also here. So which are the genes present in the parent, same genes it will be enter, resistance, good quality, everything, varieties, all the things which is present, they it will enters into the offspring. So here through the vegetative propagation it possesses all these characters, hence they are considered as a asexual reproduction. Now let us see the types of vegetative propagation. So in a previous class, as I said you here, vegetative propagation it is two types it is present. Which are those means one is the natural, another one is the artificial method of vegetative propagation. So two types it possesses here. One is the natural method of vegetative propagation, other one is the artificial method of vegetative propagation. So let us discuss one by one. First let us discuss the natural method of vegetative propagation. So let us know what is the meaning of natural method of vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation occurring naturally in which a somatic part of the plant detaches from the body of the mother and develops into a new independent plant under suitable environmental condition. So what is the meaning of natural method means? So next one here, what is the meaning of natural method? Here means vegetative propagation occurs naturally in which a somatic part detaches from the body of the mother. So body of the mother and develops into a new individual plant under suitable environmental condition. So vegetative propagation which is occurring naturally here. The name itself it will shows here natural. Here this process it will be held by the nature itself. Here we are not showing any participation here. So all this process it will be held by the nature itself. So that's why the name also we are given it as a natural here. Vegetative propagation occurring naturally, in which what happen with somatic parts. Which are the somatic parts? Root, stem, leaf, bud. So these are all are the somatic part. Naturally they will get detaches. Detaches means they will get separated from the parental body, from the body of the mother. So from the parent body. So in the parent body, so the what happen means this root, stem or a leaf or bud, naturally it will get detaches, and that part it will develops into a new independent plant under suitable environmental condition. If it get detached here and there is a suitable environment means, then that somatic part it will develops into a new individual. So that's why here they mentioned the under suitable environmental condition. If environment it is not suitable means, then that somatic part it will not develops into a new individual. If the somatic part want to develop into a new individual means, environmental condition it is plays a most important role. This process we are calling it as a natural method which will occur by the nature itself. Next here, vegetative propagation. So as I said here, it will be held naturally in four parts here. So which are those means root, stem, leaf, bud. So let us discuss one by one of this somatic part. First let us discuss by taking the root. Vegetative propagation by root. With the help of the root, how the vegetative propagation it will be take place. So four vegetative somatic parts are vegetative parts. It is four: root, stem, leaf and bud. So by taking one by one, let us discuss how the vegetative propagation. So first type is in the natural method, vegetative propagation. Already have been discussed in your first year also. Vegetative propagation by roots. How the vegetative propagation it will be held by the roots. As I said here, roots is one of the somatic parts. So how with the help of these roots, how this process it will be held. In some plants like sweet potato, dahlia, asparagus, etc. undergoes adventitious tuberous roots and are modified various for storage of food material. So what happens is, in all these plants, sweet potato, dahlia, asparagus, so in all these cases what happens here means, it contains the adventitious roots. So let us discuss this by taking a sweet potato. Sweet potato means what here? Natralu. So let us discuss the vegetative propagation by roots here. So in the vegetative propagation by roots, by taking few examples like sweet potato, dahlia, asparagus. In all these plants, what happens is vegetative propagation take place with the help of the root. In all these plants, sweet potato, dahlia, asparagus, etc. in all these plants, vegetative propagation it will be taken by with the help of the which somatic part means with the help of the root somatic part. So we are discussing about the first type of somatic part, that is root here. So here we took the example as a sweet potato. So this is sweet potato. Sweet potato means natralu. So in this case here, what happens is it produces adventitious roots. Adventitious roots to whom we are calling them is, so the roots it will be developed from other parts of the plant body except living from the radical part. So leaving the radical, if the roots arises from any other part of the plant body means, such type of roots we are calling it as adventitious roots. To whom we are calling it as adventitious roots means the leaves if they develops from other parts of the plant body except from the radical. Such type of roots we are calling it as a adventitious roots. Now in the sweet potato, adventitious root what it will do means it will it has modified itself for the storage of the food metal. Usually you know very well here what is the function of the root means it will help for the absorption of the water, minerals, all these things here. But here these roots it has modified themselves. Instead of performing that role, it has changed their role here. Which role they are taken here means they are taken the storage of the food material. So that adventitious root it has start for storage of the food material. Due to storage of this food material, it has becomes in a tuberous condition. Tuberous means what here? Gadde, dalla. In Kannada they will tell gadde. So that means here dalla. So all of you have seen the sweet potato. So it will be in the tuberous in condition. So that's why it is a adventitious root. That adventitious root it has a swollen in condition. Why it has swollen in condition means because storage of the food material. So it is one of the underground. So this root where it will be present? It will not present above the surface of the soil. It will present inside the soil. So that's why we are calling it as a underground we are calling. So underground adventitious tuberous roots are modified for the storage of the food material. And even what happens means these roots this is a root. This root it will bear a adventitious buds. So the sweet potato which we are consuming actually it is a root. But that root what it has done? It has modified itself for the storage of the food. It has stored the food. That's why we are consuming that. That's why we are consuming that vegetable. So these roots bears adventitious buds which grows into the leafy shoot called slip here. So on this root here what happens is it contains the leafy buds, adventitious buds. Which is the adventitious buds means see here like this. These are all of the adventitious buds it is present, and this condition we are calling it as a slip. This one we are calling it as a slip where I had done the round mark. So this portion we are calling it as a slip, and this much portion if we cut and if we sow inside the soil under a suitable condition means it will develop into a new individual. It will develop into a new individual. Understand? So this is a root. That what type of root it is? It is a adventitious root. So it has become in a tuberous in condition, adventitious tuberous root. Why it has become a adventitious tuberous root means because due to the storage of the food. On this body what it contains the small buds, it contains adventitious bud we are calling. So these are the adventitious roots, they are arising from this bud region. So if we cut this portion we are calling it as a slip. If we cut this much portion and if we sow inside the soil means what we'll get here means we'll get a new organism. So like this through the vegetative propagation we'll get a new plant, new organism we will get here. So like that vegetative propagation in root we have been finished. One of the vegetative part, somatic part by using the root we have been discussed. Next we will go for the stem. Next is vegetative propagation by stem. Next one vegetative propagation by stem. Just now we have been discussed about the root, one of the somatic part we have been finished by taking an example of a sweet potato. Now we are taking another one somatic part, that is stem. So let us discuss by taking the stem. So how with the help of the stem a new plant it will get produced here. So in that different types are present. Again this stem it has been classified into the certain types here. Among that let us discuss first type. So vegetative propagation by underground stem. Usually you have seen that stem where it will be present, it will be present above the surface of the soil. Naturally you have seen. So you have seen the plenty of plants where the stem it will be present, above the surface of the soil. But in this case the stem where it is present means stem it will not present above the surface of the soil, stem it will present inside the soil. Where the stem it will be present? Stem it will be present inside the soil. So that's why we are calling them as a underground stem. The stem it is present inside the soil, and this stem, so instead of performing that function, it has modified itself. It has modified itself for the storage of the food. Let us discuss one by one. So in that here, certain another types are present here. Let us discuss one by one. So in that first type is stem tuber. So let us discuss the stem tuber. So it is one of the underground stem modification. So in the underground modification, first let us discuss about the stem tuber by taking an example of the potato. So actually you know very well, all of you are well familiar with the potato. It is a type of underground stem modification. The potato which we are consuming, actually it is one of the stem we are consuming. The potato which we are eating or which we are consuming here, it is a stem, but that stem it has modified itself for what means for the storage of the food material. So it has this stem, it has stored the food material inside inside the body. So due to that one, it is appearing in the tuberous in condition. So it is a type of underground stem modification. That's why we are telling it is a type of underground stem modification. Where we will get this stem means we will get this stem inside the soil. Potato we are deriving from where means potato we are deriving from under the soil. So that's why we are calling it as an underground stem we are calling, and it has modified itself for what means for the storage of the food material. And each tuber it consists of nodes or eyes. On the tuber, what it contains, this potato we are calling it as a tuber. So what it contains? It contains the eye. So which is the eye? See, this is the potato. So this potato it contains the nodes or else even we are calling it as a eye. Which is the eye? This portion, this is we are calling it as a nodes or eye. See, here is one eye it is present. This is completely it is in a tuber in condition. So that's why we are calling it as a potato as a tuber, round. It is present. Another one eye, see here it is there. Here it is there, another one eye. So like that here one eye it is present, or else even we are calling it as a node. So like that here on the body here is one eye. So on the potato, on this tuber we will find the nodes are we are calling it as a eye. So which is the node or eye? This one only we are calling it as a nodes or eye part we are calling. And next later these eye produces one or more buds. So from this portion what it will be produces? It produces one or more buds. It may be arises, like how you are seeing in this potato it has produced the number of buds. So this portion, this is only we are calling it as a bud. From which part it will be arises means it will be arises from the nodal region. From the nodes or else eyes, what it will arises? It will arises the eye. It will arises the bud. Which is the bud? So these are all are the buds here. From which part it will arises? It will arises from this eye or the nodal region. So this is we are calling it as a bud. This is we are calling it as a node or eye. From this region only the bud it will get arises. Now when we cut this portion or when we cut this portion, and if we planted into the, if we sow inside the soil means each it will develop into a new individual. Suppose here if we cut this much portion and if we sow inside the soil here means each it will be develops into a new individual. So that's why what they are telling here, tubers is cut into the pieces with one or more eyes here. Either it may be contain one or more than one it may present. And if we planted or if we sow inside the soil, and in that soil if they get the suitable environment means then it will develop into a new plant. So this is one of the underground stem modification, where the stem it has been stored the food material inside this body. So this is one type of a stem tuber. This is one of the important questions for your exam, which may comes for your 5 marks question. Even as I said you in your first year classes also, second year you are going to study same concept, which is most important question for your exam, likely question for exams. It will be appears for 5 mark question. So first type is over stem tuber. Next second type it is present, that is rhizome. Next let us discuss another one type of underground stem modification, that is rhizome. So another type of underground stem modification. So that is second one is rhizome. First one is the stem tuber, second one is the rhizome. So by taking an example of ginger. So next second type is rhizome here, which is also one of the underground stem modification. So let us discuss about this one by taking an example of the ginger. So this is the ginger. So it is one of the perennial underground condensed fleshy modified stem for the storage of the reserve food material. So all of you have seen the ginger. Ginger, it is also one of the underground stem modification. So ginger, where it will be grows, it will grows inside the soil. That's why we are calling it as a underground condensed fleshy modified here. So this this vegetable, it will be in the form of a fleshy in condition. It will not be in a dry in condition. So that's why we are given it here as a fleshy, and it is a perennial in condition. Perennial means so the plants which is having their lifespan more than 2 years. Already have been studied in your first year: annual, biennial, and perennial. Annual means the plants will complete their life cycle. So in 1 year we are calling it as a annual plants. Biennial means the plants which will complete their life cycle in 2 years, we are calling it as a biennial plants. And perennial means the plants which will complete their life cycle more than 2 years, we are calling it as a perennial, like your mango. All these are coconut, tamarind. So all these are nothing but perennial plants we are calling. In the same manner, this ginger is also, it will comes in a perennial plant which will use more than, lifespan is more than 2 years. So it is, that's why it is a perennial underground condensed fleshy modified stem, where this stem, it has stored the food material like a stem tuber. Here also the stem, it has been stored the reserve food material. Now in this what is rhizome, what we will find means we will find the nodes and internodes here. Here we will find the nodes also, and even we will find the internodes. Which is the nodes means these lines which have been mentioned here. These lines are nothing but we are considered it as a nodes. This is one node, this is one node, this is one node, this is one, like that here. All these are all are the nodes, and the gap present between these two lines, that gap we are calling it as a internodes. Example here you can see here this one. This is a ginger. So all of you have seen the ginger. Here you can see just lines. So here is one line. Here is one line. So here is one line. Here is one line. So these are all are nothing but we are calling it as a what here? We are calling it as a nodes. This is one node, this is one node, this is one node, this is one node. And the gap which is present between in this region, we are calling it as a internode. So this is the gap which is present. This gap we are calling it as a internode. So that's why in this rhizome, so ginger, we have taken the example as a ginger. So in this the rhizome, what we'll find? We'll find the nodes, and even we'll find the internodes we'll find. And each node possesses axillary bud. So each node, what it contains here? It possesses the axillary buds here. So like here, so you can see here, this is the bud which has been arises here. So this one. So this is the bud which has been arises. So from which part this bud it will get arises means it will be arised from the nodal region. So this is the axillary bud we are calling, which will be arised from which part? It will be arised from the nodal region. It will not arise from the internode. It will arise from the nodal region, and it will arises. And this axillary bud, it may give rise to the young ones. If we cut this much portion and if we sow into the soil, here there is a suitable substratum, later it will develop into a new individual. So this is only we are calling it as a axillary bud. Which one? This one we are calling it as a axillary bud. Which part it will arises? It will arises from the nodal region. This is about your rhizome. If they ask you explain about the underground stem modification means, then you have to write the stem tuber one type, rhizome is another type. So let us the another is rhizome. So it is one of the important question for your exam. Still another two more is there. Two more is there. We'll discuss in our later classes.